哦，
我老婆生病了，咱们好好聊一聊。过去几个月就是各种受伤、生病、去医院，我想跟你们分享一下。但是呢，为了帮你们同时练点英文，这个视频里 I'm gonna speak in English. Since 2020, when my wife and I came to the US, I've experienced some of the happiest and saddest moments of my life. And throughout that entire ordeal, Rita has been my rock. If it weren't for her, I probably would have completely and utterly collapsed, never to return. And that's not to say that I've been okay, because I've had moments where I was in really bad shape, but I can't even begin to imagine what it would have been like without her. And that's why it hurts so much to see her suffering now, because no one wants to see the person they love in pain. And it's not just her that's suffering, but let's take a step back. In September of 2023, Rita's parents hopped on a plane for 30 hours and came to the US for the very first time. We hadn't seen them in nearly 4 years, and even though, yeah, we video chatted with them every week or so, the second I saw them coming out of the airport, it was a really emotional moment. And then the last couple months have been insane. And Rita and I were really curious as to what her parents might think of America. First time here, coming from Beijing, born and raised in Shanxi, it's a completely different world, right? When I asked them what they thought of where we live or what their first impression of DC was, I was a little bit surprised.
华盛顿就是小农村
Which might be because we do in fact live in the suburbs. We're not in the city center. So it's about a 40-minute trek to where Rita works. Actually, let me just show you. Now, Rita teaches Chinese at one of the best universities in the country, and it happens to be right in the center of DC, which is one of the areas that her parents loved, and it's next to everything. It's where all the tourists have to come when they're in DC. The school is right there. This is the National Gallery of Art. You walk down that way and you have the Washington Monument, all the Smithsonian museums, which I love. That's where I like to go when I was a little kid. And then you go that way and you have the Capitol. Sometimes Rita takes an Uber into work, and some of the drivers, they spray a lot of cologne in the car, which made her feel kind of sick. She would start to feel a little bit queasy, nauseous, like she was gonna throw up. And by the time she got into work, she just wasn't feeling very well. Fortunately, she didn't throw up often, but it wasn't great. And then something happened. Her dad got hurt. He got hurt, and it was pretty bad. Rita's dad is young, super energetic, and he just can't sit still. So while he was working in our backyard one day, a stick flew up, smacked him in the face, and when I went downstairs, he was covering his eye. I messaged my business partner's mom, who is an optometrist, and she said, you should probably take him to the doctor immediately. So we hopped in the car and rushed to the optometrist, and after a quick eye exam, they said, oh, nope, you need to go to the hospital. Do not go home, just go straight away. And the hospital they said we needed to go to that would be equipped to help with his eye was a 90 to 100-minute drive away during rush hour, which is when we went. And having spent a lot of time in hospitals with my father, I knew it was gonna be a long day. And if you've seen my videos about medicine and the medical system in the US, you know this is not the type of place where you want to get sick, especially not when, like my father-in-law, you don't have medical insurance. So they rushed him in right away. They did all the checkups, and they gave us the fairly bad news that it was going to require some surgery. So since we were gonna have to stay the night, I told Rita to just come back home. There was nothing to be done, and we couldn't all stay in the room. So I was interpreter, I was the assistant, everything. I ended up sleeping in the car for a couple hours until we got taken to the place where they were gonna do their final diagnosis in terms of what type of surgery needed to be done. Fortunately, they fixed his eyes and he now has 20/20 vision, which, it wasn't the best way to go about it, but it could have been a lot worse. By the way, I filmed a little section talking about exactly what was wrong with his eye, but eye stuff just makes me uncomfortable, so I'll spare you the details. Basically, we just got incredibly lucky because the outcome that he got, a full recovery, was not what the doctors were expecting. Now, after that happened, Rita was feeling sick and we started taking her to the doctor, but she also wanted to make sure that her parents were seeing the US, New York, LA. We took them to a bunch of different places, which my father-in-law found to be better cities than Washington, D.C. They feel more like cities. It was nice to see some friends and eat Chinese food, which, aside from a couple restaurants that I really like in the DC area, LA and New York are definitely a lot better. But anyway, the next couple months were a blur because I was flying back and forth between the East Coast and the West Coast for work, all while trying to take Rita to doctor's appointments. And as we talked to more and more doctors, we figured out what was wrong, and we didn't want to tell our parents or anybody. But ultimately, there was a day where we couldn't wait any longer, and we just had to tell my in-laws and my mom that
我怀孕了。
哦，
我怀孕了。
and I'm gonna be a dad. I can't even begin to express how excited I am. It's a boy. Rita's about 5 months along. She's halfway there. And over the last couple months, I've been making some adjustments because every book that you'll see in my house now, at least the new ones, they're about pregnancy, they're about how to raise children, they're about how to take care of your pregnant wife, they're about raising bilingual and trilingual kids, and I'll talk about the language stuff in a second, but I'm so excited. First time father, I've never even changed a diaper in my life, so that'll be fun, but it will be fun. And like I said, I've been reading a bunch of stuff, but also, you know, I'm starting to have a little bit of fun. So for Christmas, I prepared this little thing. We have coming soon, 即将到来, Max Baby, June 2024. This is him. Look, he's so small. So these are just some of the books that I've been reading lately. I've just been compiling a list, and there's a lot of stuff from The Happiest Baby, which I thought was pretty interesting, and then growing up with 3 languages, because I grew up with 2, and now I speak 5, and we want our baby as well to grow up with 3. Basically, the plan is to raise our kids trilingual, which is 3 languages. I'm gonna be speaking Spanish with our son, as will my mom, and then Rita and her parents will be speaking Mandarin. The community language will be English. So 3 to start, and then we'll see what happens. And I'm gonna be filming a lot more videos about just life in general, life in America, getting ready to have a kid, and obviously still sharing how to learn languages more efficiently.
那如果你喜欢这种全英文的视频，就可以点个赞支持一下，这样我可以多拍。然后如果你想更系统的学好英语，我42天的口语养成计划马上就要开课了，4月14号。我知道我现在就要开始赚这个奶粉钱了，但是40节课2场直播就会带着你学习最高频的日常生活的情境。不管你现在是纯哑巴英语，什么都说不出来，还是你感觉你自己专业领域的一些东西就表达的非常的顺利，但是呢，日常生活还是感觉有点磕磕巴巴的，有点懵，那就可以看看我自己拍了很多小剧场，对，带着你的手把手搞定日常生活英语。我也会教你最有用的一些方法论技巧，然后也帮你在学完这个课程之后，你知道后边的学习应该怎么去安排。So go check it out。我现在去照顾我老婆，然后我们就下次见。